Hello, everyone. Today with us is Jimmy Nguyen, Chief Executive Officer of nChain Group. On January 25th, Jimmy will have a talk at Blockchain Bitcoin Conference, Philippines, in Manila, dedicated to key steps needed to grow e-commerce. So let's shortly move to our first question. That is, does Bitcoin Cash have any advantages over Bitcoin? If so, what are they?
Thank you very much. It's glad to be here. Absolutely. We believe at nChain that Bitcoin Cash has many advantages over both the legacy Bitcoin chain as well as all of the other altcoins that are out there. The biggest advantages are it's constructed to have bigger blocks, faster speed, low transaction fees. And we think that's critical to create a global fast payment transaction system that will rival Visa and MasterCard one day and fulfill the true vision of the Satoshi Nakamoto white paper, which is for peer-to-peer electronic cash, meaning a coin and a chain that can be used to power daily cash, daily ability to send payments and transfer money that's cheap and fast. So those are the key advantages that we view in the Bitcoin Cash chain.
All right. So if you were entrusted to develop the legal frames for cryptocurrency regulation, what would be like?
Sure. I think that the cryptocurrency world has this natural fear or reluctance to see legal regulation come into different countries. Perhaps because I'm a former lawyer, see that regulation can be effective when it's reasonable. So what I would do is first have countries, to the best extent possible, recognize cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin Cash, as a legal form of tender and payment. That's what's happened in Japan, and that's led to a skyrocket in the number of merchants that are starting to accept Bitcoin as a payment vehicle, which has been great for the industry there. Second, there's been a lot of talk in different places about whether you regulate virtual currency businesses, such as an exchange or a wallet, whether they need a license, such as a money transmitter license. In the United States, where I'm from, there is a state, New York, that has a BIT license. I think, there are ways it can be improved, but one of the good things it did was to recognize some exemptions to a virtual currency business that needs a license, such as, for example, being a software supplier. Just because you're providing software to a wallet or exchange, it's not certain that you really need a license, and it's probably better for the industry's growth if you don't. But there's some ways in which it can be clarified. If I were writing regulation and laws to govern virtual currency businesses, I would look at, for example, whether someone who provides a multi-sig wallet and operates it needs a virtual currency license, because if it's a multi-sig wallet, the operator cannot necessarily be said to control or hold the funds or assets of the customer, because it needs multiple signatures, by definition, to be able to control and move the asset. So I'm not exactly sure how that would play out, but I think that's one area in which smart regulation could still provide enabling of the growth of the industry by looking at the very unique situation of cryptocurrency, because not all wallets and exchanges can be said to control the assets, and maybe they don't need a virtual currency license, or perhaps it could be written in that they need a lighter form of the license, something that's a little less burdensome to comply with.
Well, thank you for this answer. Let's go to another question. That is, most recently, large hedge funds announced launching Bitcoin futures.
Yes.
How do you think this will affect the cryptocurrency rate, and will this be a signal for the big players to get bearish?
Well, I think the launch of Bitcoin futures recently, just in the past week in the United States with the CBOE, has been, create a dramatic rise in the price of the legacy Bitcoin, as we've seen. It's now trading this morning at around, $16,600 at the time I'm talking to you. So we've seen it increase in the short term, the price. There has been some volatility. There are some people who think that, particularly come January, there could be attempts to short the price of the legacy Bitcoin and create more of a bearish market. I think that's certainly possible in the long term, and I expect that we'll see large swings in volatility of the price. But overall, I think the introduction of the futures market is a good thing. It shows that there's a vehicle for institutional money to come into Bitcoin if they don't want to actually hold the coins, but they can buy futures contracts. So I think overall it's healthy, it's good, it demonstrates institutional institutionalization of cryptocurrency. I'm waiting for the markets to actually introduce futures contracts on Bitcoin Cash. We think that is the winning coin over the long term. The other thing that I think has been smart about the introduction of futures contracts is measures taken to control the volatility. So, for example, the CBOE has rules in place to halt the sale of contracts and trading if the price drops by 10, 20, or 30%, or increases by 10, 20, or 30% in a given moment. So there's rules to halt for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, depending on whether it's a change of 20% or 10% of price. That's already been triggered a few times. I think that's good to prevent flash crashes or flash, dramatic increases in price that are abnormal. So all in all, I think futures trading is a healthy thing for the cryptocurrency industry. I'm waiting for futures trading on Bitcoin Cash to come, and I hope it comes one day soon.
Very interesting point of view. Bitcoin together with other cryptocurrencies is still not completely understandable and accessible to the general public. What should be done to make cryptocurrency commonplace?
I think that's a very important thing for the cryptocurrency world to keep in mind. So much of the crypto world are technology people and now an increasing amount of finance and business people. One of the things I spend a lot of time thinking about and doing at nChain Group is exactly that, thinking how do we explain cryptocurrency to the normal population. It's something that I'm focused on. And I think it starts with a couple of things. I think one, it starts by getting people to understand what the purpose of a cryptocurrency is. Each of the ones you see out there have a slightly different purpose, right? Is it really meant to be a payment system? Is it meant to be a place where you store value like gold? And people, I think, are confused by all the different coins. I know my friends ask me all the time that want to start investing, well, I don't understand the difference between Litecoin and this Ethereum business and Bitcoin, or the different Bitcoin forks that have happened. So I think having a central place of information to understand that's helpful. I go a lot to Bitcoin.com news, which is part of Roger Ver's organization. They have a very good site to explain the differences between the different Bitcoin forks. I go to CoinGeek.com. They have a good page for that as well. So I think having a central store of information is helpful. I think some place that would explain the different purposes of coins is important to consumers. And third, I think what's also important is explaining one day the ability to use coins for daily payments, bill pay, for example. And not all the coins are meant to be that, right? That's why all the ICOs that you've seen have come up. They're not necessarily meant to be daily payment systems. But if we could explain better that Bitcoin Cash, for example, is one of these coins that is designed to be a daily, fast, usable payment system, I think consumers would understand better, it's not just something I buy to invest in, it's going to be something that will make it easy for me to transact every day, send money to my friends in different countries. And the more we can demonstrate a live use case of it, I think the easier it will be for consumers to understand. I think they'll never fully understand this concept of the blockchain and, validating transactions and mining nodes. They might understand it in its basic terms, but I think we should focus on educating consumers about how they can use the crypto coins as opposed to the, background infrastructure.
Thanks for this complete answer. And next question is, what actions do crypto investors take if their country's jurisdiction ban cryptocurrency?
Well, there have been, some jurisdictions that have had less than favorable regulations or announcements about cryptocurrency. If you are living in a country where cryptocurrency is completely banned, certainly I'm not one to recommend trying to skirt around the laws of your particular country. I think you just might have to, wait for the country to evolve and hopefully open up its market to cryptocurrency. Some countries, such as China, for example, haven't outright banned cryptocurrency, but they have banned or announced, displeasure about certain things, such as initial coin offerings. So my suggestion is to stay attentive to what's going on in your market. If there is some options for investing in cryptocurrency, take advantage of those, but don't invest in ones which your government is, not fond of or is outright banned. I'm a big fan of doing the right thing.
Wow, impressive. In your opinion, what will be the price of Bitcoin till the middle of 2018? And explain your opinion.
So I will give you that answer in two parts because, as